All right, here we are with another awesome fight night. I think this is going to be the biggest one yet.
That's right. Just listen to the crowd. They're enjoying themselves so much. You guys, I hope you are all comfortable, getting cozy in your couch, get your favorite drink, eat some pizza, and settle in for the night, because it is going to be a good one.
Oh yeah, this is going to be an awesome night. I can't wait to get this started. Well, first, let's talk about the contenders. What do you got?
All right, so I am representing the Quad Cortex. There are so many features that everybody is talking about, but the top three are a 7-inch touchscreen. It has an extremely easy and intuitive user interface, and it captures all of your favorite amplifiers. So why don't you tell us about the reigning champion, the Kemper?
The Kemper is the OG here, right? I mean, it's been used for at least 10 years, and people have been enjoying playing the thousands and thousands of profiles in it for a long time now. I mean, it's tried and true. It's been used in studios and stages everywhere, no matter if you're a pro touring musician, a pro recording engineer, or you're just beginning, or anywhere in between. It's worked for everybody. And on top of that, it's loaded with tons and tons of really good effects. I mean, tons of reverbs, tons of delays, and they just added a bunch of overdrive pedals that are freaking amazing. And has tons of different modulation effects. I mean, it's just really chock full of everything that you could possibly want. And there's 3 versions of it. So you have the rack, the stage, and the toaster.
Well, that's all good and everything, but the Quad Cortex is new tech. I want to see how it stands up against the OG tech of the Kemper.
Well, we're going to find out tonight. So, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Let's get started. Welcome to Tone Wars Fight Night. All right, so here we are. We're going to do a full transparent process on how we captured and profiled all of the amps. Steve's here right now. He's going to pick the 2 amps that he's going to have captured and profiled on both of these units. And he's going to dial them in to his taste, and then we're going to go from there and capture and profile them, and whatever channels and settings that he wants will be in both units, and then he's going to go ahead and check those profiles and captures and make sure they are to his taste and his liking. And then we're going to move on to TJ and do the same thing, and then we're going to move on to me and do the same thing with me. We're sharing this whole process with you so that you know how this is being done. It's fully transparent so that you can see all the behind the scenes type stuff here before we do the shootout. So that way there's no conjecture like, oh, they didn't do it right. It's like we're showing you everything step by step, you know?
Right.
So the cab that we are going to be using today is my diesel cab with the G12 K100s in it. It's a 2x12 cab, and the mics are the Royer R10 and the Shure SM57, and I got them set in the sweet spot. That is holy ground back there. No one's allowed to touch those because they sound perfect right where they're at. So we're going to go ahead and make the amp selection now. I'll fire them up and dial them in for you. So
yeah.
What do you want?
Well, let's try the JP. I think.
Okay, so we'll fire up the JP.
That sounded pretty good last time I played it.
All right. So in a minute here, I'm going to fire these amps up, and Steve's going to play through them and pick the one that he likes, and we're going to dial in further and profile them.
So can we take the highs down a little bit? Like maybe the presence, or
Okay.
that top fader would be perfect.
Let's do the top one and the one
it's
right next to it.
A little thin.
Okay. So you want a little more bass?
Maybe a hint more bass.
Okay, let me just nudge that.
Yeah, I think just cutting those highs just a touch would be perfect.
Okay, and let's see what that sounds like.
That's a little closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want? So how far off are we? Is it Is it just a little better? I want this perfect.
It's
So-
maybe just those highs just a touch more.
Sure, man.
Just
Let me turn the
little-
presence down a little bit.
That might do it.
Let's see what that does and see where we're at with that.
Yeah, that's
Good?
perfect. Yeah, because I'm doing just leads. I don't
Yeah.
need the tight
Yep.
rhythm as much.
Gotcha. Okay, so I got the treble down to noon, and the presence just below noon, and I pulled those top 2 faders down, and yeah, it sounds nice and warm in my ears, anyways. You know, I'm using.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
perfect. I got the sustain on there, and
All right.
yeah,
Cool. All right, and then the gain is cranked, but I mean, with this amp, even the Trooch cranks the gain on his leads, so it's all good, man.
felt good. Yeah, it didn't seem too
Yeah.
mushy, so
No gain shamers out there.
more gain.
Yes, more gain. No pain, no gain. Well, you know, we're setting this up in a situation where we have an overdrive in front of it. That's how you dial in an amp, because after you profile it, you're going to put an overdrive in front of it in the product anyways, in the QC and in the Kemper. So why not listen to it with the overdrive on?
Definitely.
You know, and make sure that it's to our taste. So this totally works for you. You're 100% satisfied.
Yeah, this however you got it, pretty much with just those little tweaks we did is
All right.
perfect.
Who's the man? All right, so we are going to do all the neural captures with all of the guys, including myself, first, and then we're going to switch everything over to Kemper and do all the profiling and refining with that. So we're going to go ahead and start with Steve and the JP Mark II C Plus. And so what we're going to do here and for all of the amps is we're going to get a good, strong in one level. So what's basically is listening to the amp and making sure that you have a good signal coming in so that we don't have any issues with clipping or too low a volume. Okay, so let's go get a healthy volume right now and then we'll start the capture. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we're good to go. Let's start the capture process. All right, so we're going to start with the blue channel on the EVH. You're just going to play some whatever riffs you want on it and just tell me what you need and don't need, and I'll dial it in accordingly. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the red channel. Same thing. So
All right, sounds good.
So here we go.
All right, it sounds a little top heavy.
Okay.
Yep. So maybe,
All right. So let's take the highs down a little bit
yeah,
and the presence down a little bit.
yeah, and maybe a little bit of the mids too.
Mids too. Okay, so let's take those down a little. All right, let's see what we got.
All right. I'm still kind of getting that little genty sound, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you want less
Maybe.
top end?
I don't know. Maybe it's on here on the pedal here. Maybe back the attack down.
Okay,
Yeah, try that.
let's try that. All right, 1 second.
Sure. Sounds a lot better.
Okay, so we're good there?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, just add a little bit more presence, I think,
Okay.
and we'll be good.
Sure. All right, let's double check that.
Yep.
1 second.
Much better.
All right,
All
cool.
right, we're good there. Yep.
All right, so we'll go ahead and leave that where it's at, and now we're going to move on to the red channel, and just play some leads. I can put on some delay for you or whatnot, you
Yeah.
know, just to keep it all real, you know.
Yeah.
Because we'll be using delay on the on the QC and the Kemper anyway. So
Sure.
go ahead and do some shreds and tell me what you need.
All right. Let's see here. I'd say probably back down a little bit of the high end, just
Okay.
a little bit though.
All right.
And I think everything else should be okay.
Should be good.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it again.
Sounds good.
Good. All right, so we're good on the EVH. So those settings are going to be there for you. All right, thanks, TJ. So the next segment will be me, and then we're going to go on to the profiling and capturing segment, and then after that, we're going to go live with the
Sweet.
performances and the competition. So we'll see
Awesome.
what happens. Here we go. All right, so my choice is the Ingalls Savage 120 Mark II. That's my favorite amp, so I have to choose that. Well, this amp's already dialed in to perfection, in my opinion, so I'm good to go there as well. So next, we're going to go ahead and go through the profiling and capturing process, and just so you know, we will all be refining our profiles on the Kemper with our riffs through our guitars. And we will document this process and show it to you so that you see exactly how everything was done. Okay, so now we're going to start the process with profiling everything with the Kemper. And instead of showing you every single profile, I'm just going to show you the process of one profile that we're going to do with TJ, and we're going to do the same process with everyone. We're going to refine all the profiles and everything. So just letting you know, everything's on the up and up. But again, I don't want to belabor this and show you every little detail because we want to get to the shootout, right?
Right,
So
yep.
let's go ahead and start the process of profiling the amplifiers, and we're going to start with TJ on the EVH Stealth red channel. All right, so we're going to profile the EVH red channel right now. All right, so all of the captures are done on the Quad Cortex, and all of the Kemper profiles are also done and refined by each guitar player with his own guitar and his own riffs. So there's no way we could have done this any more accurately. So now let's get started with the shootout. There we go.
Hey, 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 hey. Welcome, everybody. We are live now. Thanks for tuning in and watching the pre-recorded stuff. We did that for you guys that like to know all the ins and the outs and have all of the questions about how this was done and plugged in and where's it at and what's the path.
I had more, and I had tons more footage, but it was like, I got to cut this off at a certain point, you know, so I basically just kind of left it where it's at. There's a lot more footage, but I think you guys get the gist. I mean, so basically what we did is we refined every profile on the Kemper. Like, Steve refined his profiles, I refined mine, and TJ refined his, and we did it right, and everything is on the up and up. And just so everybody knows, I don't have a dog in this race. I don't care who wins. I want you to win. I want you guys that are watching to win so that you can have a great, entertaining, awesome episode, and you can get informed so that you can proceed with the best information that you can get, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here. Because tomorrow morning, I'm going to fire one of these up and play one of these. That's what matters to me, is these guys, these amplifiers here. So I think these are great units. Like, the QC is awesome, the Kemper is awesome, but at the end of the day, my true love is these awesome amplifiers. So I really, again, I don't have a dog in the race at all. I don't care who wins. So we're going to get started with Steve. We had a great day profiling and doing all the stuff and dialing in, and I apologize for the late start, but we really needed that extra hour because, man, I bit off way more than I could chew today. So I was going to do 2 amps, and thank God I decided, you know, midstream there, like, nope, we only got time for 1. So
I didn't hear in the package. Did you introduce the players in the package? Or?
Oh no, I didn't. This is Steve Shaheen, and you guys know TJ. I think this is your first time on here, right?
Yeah, live.
Yeah, live.
Yeah.
Okay, and then TJ, this is his 3rd or 4th time here. Yeah, 4th. Well, who counts? But he's behind the camera right now, but he'll be on soon.
TJ's an old friend of ours from playing with local bands.
Yeah.
His band's name is Salvation's End. And Steve Shaheen, we met through Tone Wars, I think. He reached out to Jared, and he went to one of our live events at a brewery and met him in person there for the first time. So...
Yeah, so it's been cool getting to know these guys over the years and stuff, and we really appreciate them being here and giving up a day so that we can have multiple players dial this stuff in and give their opinions about what they're experiencing here for you guys. I mean, they're doing this for you, and, well, probably for the whiskey too, but hey.
Speaking of whiskey,
yeah, cheers. Hell yeah. All right, so... You go ahead and say hi to everybody, and we will get started in just a minute here.
All right. Jeff Cornell, thanks for being number 1 tonight.
What's up, man?
Steve Avenchek is here. Jason Taylor. I think I already said hi to, Jeff Cornell. Paul Smith. Hello, Paul Smith. Hopefully you guys came back. That was at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right.
It was worth it. We had to get some things tightened up here.
High Roller is with us. Acoustic.
Hey.
Aaron Lucas.
What's
Hi,
up?
Aaron Lucas. Jason Taylor, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, let's get ready to rumble.
What's up, Jason?
Matt Force from
Motor City Guitar.
He's with us. Thanks for watching, Matt. Sean Casey says, hi, Carrie and Jared and everybody. Let the games begin.
Yeah.
Mike DeVroe, how are you? So, we are not doing the community jam tonight. We only had the Quad Cortex for a couple of weeks, so we needed to bump this up. We will, however, do the community jam next Sunday, so be sure to tune in.
Yep.
We'll go on at normal time, 7 o'clock Eastern time for that. But thanks for remembering.
Yeah, we announced it last week, but he might have missed that. But yeah, we had to do what we had to do because we only had the quad for so long. So
yeah. Jay from Warm Court is with us.
Jay, what's happening?
Bruce Clark. Hi, Bruce. Mike Jacobs, Chicago Todd, and this is all happening because of Chicago Todd.
Let's give a quick shout out to Chicago Todd, and I apologize for not doing that early. It's just been a crazy day. We literally slid into this live stream. Like, it's been crazy. So yes, if it wasn't for Chicago Todd, none of this would have been possible. So thank you, Chicago Todd. You are freaking awesome. for making this possible for us. You donated your, that says a lot. I mean, for a guy who's getting a brand new piece of gear to literally let it bounce off of his front porch and come up to Michigan so that we can do this. And he only spent like an hour with it. Yeah. So that was really kind of him, and it was a great sacrifice. And he did it for us and you guys.
For the love of Tone Wars.
Yeah, well, he did it for the community.
Yeah.
He's definitely a great dude. So thank you, Chicago Todd. You're awesome.
Shred Ain't Dead is here from Denver.
Woohoo!
And let's see, Chicago Mark. Ooh, we have a Chicago Todd and a Chicago Mark.
Uh-oh!
Well, let's see. Who else? All those names I've seen before. Seen them. Well, if I haven't mentioned your name, welcome to Tone Wars. It looks like, he likes Cabana Boy. I just saw you.
Hey, what's up, Darren?
Dean Harkness.
What's up, Dean? Okay, so real quick, too, if you guys could do us a big favor and share this on your social media page, that would be great. We need to get, I want to hit 100 viewers tonight. I mean, that's like it's a goal of mine. I want 100 people to watch this tonight.
We're up to 63.
Yeah, so we're almost there. I appreciate each and every one of you, but it's just one of those things. I'd like to hit 100,
Yeah.
Especially after all the work we did today. And I'm not kidding you. Today, as soon as Steve showed up at noon, we've been at this since noon. It's been like nonstop.
Took a little, maybe 20, 30 minutes to eat some dinner.
Yeah, that was it, man. I was shoving it in while I was freaking editing, so...
Well, just so you guys know, it's going to be just like the other fight nights. I have a spreadsheet here. I'm going to record their ratings. It'll be 1 through 10 for tone and feel off of each tone that they play. I would have said noise. Of each noise that they play in carry terminology.
Yeah, so they're going to play, Steve, so for instance, each one of us are going to play the same profile in 2 different mixes. So they're going to go ahead and do the full mix in one profile on one unit, and then they're going to switch units and do the same mix again with that, and then we're going to stop and have a quick conversation about what their experience was between the two, and they're going to rank it based on tone and feel. And then they're going to go ahead and do another mix and do the same thing. And then they're going to do some riffs back and forth. And so they're going to tell you which one they're playing, A or B, so that you guys can kind of be in on it too and get your thoughts in. And then we're going to have that going on. And then at the end of the night, we're going to have the reveal of the scores, the total score for each person, and then a total grand total of scores. So... and then after that, we're going to have a Q&A, hangout, discussion kind of thing, and then we'll call it a night.
Sounds good.
So that's kind of what we'll do. So we're going to get it moving now with everything. So Steve is going to start with a couple of his mixes. So
what amp is he playing?
So he is playing the JP Mark II C Plus profile or capture, depending on how you want to call it here. So... we're going to go ahead and, if you want, you can just start out. That's what makes me comfortable. I do a couple of riffs and just kind of go and just give me the nod. I'll start your track.
And you just need to tell me if you're on A or B.
Yes.
Okay.
So which one do you want? You want to start on A or B?
Start on A.
All right. Let's just start on A for the night so everybody knows to do it in order. So I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic and then turn on. And they're listening to everything through the Cali Audio LP6 studio monitors. So we want to make sure they had a good listening experience tonight. So let's go ahead and get this party started. So I'm going to mute the mic and let's go. All right, so now you're gonna do the same thing
Right away.
on B. Yeah, that was freaking awesome,
Do you want to
dude.
give the tone? Do you want him to score now?
No, he's gotta do both. So now we're gonna do B, same song. So
Okay.
it gives you a chance to kind of do it again. All right, so that was awesome, dude. I enjoyed that very much. So let's go with B. Here we go. Okay, so that dude,
Oh my god.
I'll never get sick of that song. That was freaking stupid, man.
right.
That was so good, so freaking good. Yeah, who cares about the gear?
Right.
That was awesome, man.
Are your songs available anywhere, Steve?
A couple of them are. A couple of them I have on Amazon and wherever
What can
else.
people
Spotify.
look
I think.
for?
Spotify, yeah.
Yeah, Spotify, Amazon, Instagram.
What can people look for to find them?
That was
I
good,
think
man.
just my name
Okay.
Steven Shaheen.
Steven Shaheen, Steven.
with a PH if you're being
Oh,
There we
that's-
have
if
to
you're
be-
online.
You have to be
That's-
fancy now.
Right. Well, I want to
Jeremy.
make sure I get it right so they can locate them.
Hello, my name's Steven with a PH,
Steven Shaheen.
and I have a PhD in shred. Thank you. Yeah, that was awesome. So, all right, so far, Let's do this. So we're gonna score these based on which one you enjoyed playing more and whatever.
Yeah, am I rating now or with this one?
For that mix, go ahead and score it. Yep.
Yeah, gosh.
So for either one, just tell me which one you're rating.
So I think I'm honestly, man, I think I'm gonna have to go a 10 on B.
Okay.
For tone.
And for
tone and feel.
That's tone and feel. Okay.
So 10 for tone.
10 for feel.
10 for feel.
And maybe let's say a 9 for tone.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was on
B.
B. Okay.
And then A, I'm gonna go an 8 for feel.
Okay.
And a 9 for tone.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I felt a little less supported on A.
Okay, less supported on
Yeah.
A. Okay.
A little less balls. Like that when I hit that first pick squeal on when I was on
Yeah,
B, I was like, holy crap. Like jumped off.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice when something responds. So responsiveness was better on which one for you?
On B for sure.
Okay,
something
better.
about that, yeah. Just,
maybe we should have added that, but I mean, we'll just go.
it's
It's
that's
kinda
feel.
feel.
Yeah, it's a feel thing. Okay.
That's kind of feel.
All right, so responsiveness is better. All right, so now we're going to do the next mix that you're going to blow us away with. I just jinxed you.
If I can even play anymore.
Yeah. So we're going to do the next mix on A. So we'll start on A and then go to B and do the mix again. So I won't stop and talk in between. We'll just go ahead and boom, boom. And then after that, we'll do some a score on that and then play some riffs by themselves, and then we'll score that. Okay? All right, so next mix, this one's called Lux in Tempest. Is that how you pronounce it?
Tenebris.
You and your fancy
I don't
words.
even know, honestly.
There's no PH in there, so I don't really know how to... All right, so I'm going to mute the mic, right? And then I just don't want to cause feedback issues. This is a new system here. All right, so here is Steve Shaheen with...
A's off, or Ray's on.
A on Lux in Tempest. Here we go. All right.
You're gonna love the comments when you go back. Awesome playing, fat sweeps. I'm not worthy.
I don't even want to play now. You know, and then I got TJ gonna come up and mop the floor with me as well. Yeah, I'm never having you guys on again. You guys make me look bad.
Dean
All right.
Harkness said petition for a collaboration with Jared and Gary.
Why
There
not,
was
man?
one more. Jay said this guitar is gonna wake up sore from being pinched that much. That's awesome.
That's funny. All right, so now we're gonna go with B. Without further ado, we're gonna go with B. You rested up now? All right, here we go, man. This is B. So you guys know, this is B. Right. Oh my God,
Oh.
dude, that was ridiculous.
I'm so happy right now. That was.
Dude, there was some notes that you were playing in there that just gave me permanent stink face. I mean, it was like so ridiculous, man. I mean, that was just nasty.
They came through a lot more on that. B, for some reason, the notes like pop. Even when I was doing like the one-handed, like the
Yeah.
tapping stuff,
Yeah.
I was supported for that, and the other one I was kind of falling off somehow.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like a
interesting.
little bit.
It's really interesting. Like there was some times, like I said, I mean, yeah, and you watch the video back. You can I don't have a poker face. I have a stink face. You know, I mean that's I can't help it. Like I hear stuff and I'm like, oh, who farted? I mean, it's just like, oh, but it's good. It's like this good, rich kind of just nastiness coming off of that thing. So. Yeah, I liked it, man. I was
It's the
like,
Stallone face.
Look, you
Yeah.
still have chill bumps.
yeah, I do. Look at that, you
Still
know.
have
Oh,
goosebumps.
And the Rocky face.
Or
you
that's
know,
the
it's
fan,
like,
maybe.
No, it's your notes. I was like, sheesh, look at all this stuff coming out of the guitar there. It was pretty heavy, man. You just punched me in the jaw.
So Aaron Lucas asked, dumb question, but would the guys have a better shot at kicking the tires on these captures and profiles by playing both rhythm and lead in the mix, not just lead?
Yeah, so Steve's mainly a lead player, but TJ's coming up next. He's doing both, and I do both. See, that's why I did this. I wanted a variety of players. And Steve's music is so. I mean, do I have to explain why
Right.
Steve's here?
I can't play rhythms. I can't.
I mean, he can.
I
But
try, but I suck at
But
it.
well, no, you're good, dude. But I mean, the thing is like,
But why, when you can do that?
yeah, it's like why walk when you can fly? You know. So I like what he's doing, and I think it does speak to. Because what Steve does requires a lot of feel and tone and response and and support from a product. So if these products can support what he's doing, that's a good thing. And that's why I'm having guys like TJ and Steve here, because they really require products to be top notch for what they do. So. Yeah, when you're driving a Formula One car, fairings and wheels and stuff like that matter more than the soccer mom van. So that's why we're doing this. So, all right, so score those two based on what you experienced on tone and feel, and then we're going to do some riffs, and then you're going to score it again, and then we'll move on with TJ.
All right, so B, I'll go 10 on feel, 9 on tone. I don't know if that's what I did last time, but
Same thing.
and then A, I think it was we could go a 9 on tone, but it was like an 8, I think, on feel. Yeah.
Okay.
The feel
All right.
just wasn't there as much.
Okay. All right. So, and I'm just doing my job here, just to press you. So, why a 9 as opposed to, what would make something a 10 as opposed to a 9? I'm not trying to get you to say 10. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
You know?
You mean for the tone?
Yeah,
And
yeah. Because you're giving out some 9s.
I don't
today,
know. It's hard to say. Like when the notes jump off the fretboard or whatever, or the fingerboard or whatever it is. It's like, I don't know how to say it, because I hear that and then I'm like, that sounds great, but it could be just the feel. I don't know. It's
Yeah. I mean,
if I'm missing some squeals or they're not coming
Yeah.
through as much, then I'm not hearing it. So it's like it's a kind of a feel and a tone thing. Like
Yeah.
I want to hear it would be tone, and then feeling it would be.
so what would take a 9 to a 10? Like, I guess what's missing to create a 10 situation? Or is it one of those things where it's like, you don't give out 10s because there's no such thing as a perfect product? I mean, again,
It's hard to say. I mean, the tone really was almost identical on both. I guess I
Okay.
could say. I mean, it was pretty darn close.
So it
Maybe
was
not
awesome.
perfect, but I think the
Yeah.
feel. For me, I'm such a feel guy when I'm
Yeah.
playing. If I can't feel it, then I automatically just in my mind think it doesn't sound as good.
Gotcha.
So maybe they do sound the same. I don't know. Maybe when I listen back.
Well, and I'm asking these questions as knowing that I'm going to be in the hot seat soon too. So it's like, what would make me say 9 instead of 10? You know what I mean? So I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying to be as informative as possible.
They're
here.
saying there's a little bit of feedback.
Right
There's
now.
a little bit of feedback, guys, just saying. And then somebody else said echo, echo, echo.
Feedback.
In the voice?
In the talking mic, is that what? Are you guys hearing something?
There shouldn't be. Everything is.
Jay, if you wanted to message us.
Yeah.
On the
Just message
side.
me on the side, dude. Because
Yeah.
It's hard for me to tell unless I
Could
put
it be
on
the fan blowing right in the mic right here? Or?
Doubt it. I mean, I could put on my in-ears and monitor
Jason
things.
Taylor, yeah, hearing the voice echoes now as well. It didn't earlier.
Yeah, that shouldn't be doing that. Let me put on my in-ears and see here.
We turn on Carrie's echo for her voice.
Shouldn't.
That is
Yeah,
awesome,
let me-
by the way. That echo that you sing through.
Oh,
is it?
thanks.
Let me double check here. See. Okay. I'm not
Jay says he's not hearing feedback.
hearing anything in my in-ears anyways. Yeah.
There
it's
were a
fine.
couple questions that they were asking. They want to know what amp or system you normally play through and what kind of guitar you're playing.
It's a Kiesel guitar. It's a Vader 7M, 7-string, and the M is the slanted frets,
Yeah, you got the fan frets.
multi-scale, which doesn't really do anything. I just liked it. But, yeah, Kiesel, it's the original pickups. They're lithium pickups. And I'm playing his Roadster.
Yeah. So he plays amps, and I think that's a good question because people want to know where you guys are coming from. So when you come and sit down, it's like, well, all right. So based on what you play, how are you gonna judge these? So you're an amp guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm playing. So it's a 808 Ibanez 808 reissue, like that little one that everyone hates, and the Roadster. That's it.
Yeah.
They're saying it's only Steve's voice, maybe.
Oh, probably because I'm right in front of the mic.
Yeah, it could be.
I gotta be back here.
That still
But
makes
if I'm back here, then I can see which one I'm using. So then it's cheating. So
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, when I switch presets for TJ when he comes up next, I'm going to do it on both units at the same time, so he doesn't know which one I'm switching for real. So yeah,
It's
so
almost like the pickups are picking up his voice. Maybe if you turn your guitar off?
yeah,
or-
there you go.
well,
Just-
but I mean, it's B's
Oh,
off, right?
that explains the delay. Yeah,
Isn't it? B's off.
no,
Okay.
B's off. That's what you're hearing. They're hearing the Kemper still. Yeah, out there. So if just turn your volume on your guitar down.
Oh, mine.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong with the wiring, and mine still makes noise
Yeah, that's right. That's
when
what
it's
it
all the
is.
way up. I don't know what.
Oh, all right, thanks guys. So that's why I wasn't here in the room. All right.
That must be what it is. So,
Okay. So pressing on.
but this is off though. These are both off too.
Yeah, but that could be
I
a
don't know.
thing. I don't know. That's weird. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to play outside of a mix. You're going to play both units back and forth, and you got to turn one off before you can go to the next one. And someone else asked, and I appreciate the question, if they can switch them between each one in the mix. The reason why we can't do
It
that.
was Matt, and by the way, I just wanted to say thank you for the super chat. He sent with the question.
Oh,
He
thank
said,
you.
I wonder if A and B are changing or remaining constant. Is A the same hardware every song?
Yes. Thank you again for the question and the super chat. So A is for the whole song, B is for the whole song. We can't really switch because what you have to do with this MXR AB switcher is you have to turn one off and then one on. You can't leave them both on and switch back and forth. You'll get this horrible phasing issue and it sounds like crap. So there'd be these horrible gaps, and these guys and myself would probably lose our place. Like, where am I, So but now he's going to actually do a direct switch back and forth by turning one on and one off, and then play some riffs in and out and just see what they sound and feel like to him. So I'll leave the delay on because you're just going to do some lead stuff, right?
Yeah, that's
Pretty much what
fine.
you're
Yeah.
gonna do. All right, so let's go ahead and mute the mic and let him do that. And he's going to start with A, and then go to B, and then back to A, then B. So that's so you guys know what's going on here.
CS says, everybody just drop some acid, enjoy the echoes.
Is it still there? Or maybe when my guitar's not
What's
there,
up,
I don't
Chris?
know.
That's funny. Yeah.
Ben
Yeah, just
Burnett-
go with it, guys.
Ben Burnett says, I hear all three voices on about a 3-second delay.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's just really weird. Sorry, I don't know what to do about that right now. That's the thing about live streams, you just never know. All right, so let me mute the mic and turn your monitors back on, and then you could go A, B, whatever, however many times you need to do it. Okay.
We'll start with A.
All right, start with A, please. All right, here we go. All right, so what do you think there? I noticed some differences in the room. Just so,
Yeah.
as a disclaimer, YouTube has a compression that they put on everything because, you know, there's so many people streaming and uploading and watching and everything. That kind of covers up some of the stuff and makes some of the stuff kind of even. So that's why I'm asking these guys to be super duper pooper scooper, like ridiculously informative and critical about things so that they can convey what they're experiencing in the room. Because there's no compression going on here. It's just raw room. It's just the speakers, and they're like, what, I don't know, 6, 7 feet, 8 feet away from you. And you're listening to them in stereo here. So, you know, so go ahead and tell us what you think and what you're experiencing.
Yeah, I notice less of a difference now when I'm trying to play the songs that I'm playing. It's so specific that I notice differences for sure when I was picking different notes. But I notice a lot less difference when I'm just kind of jamming now. And I would say they're pretty darn close. I still like be a little more.
Okay.
I still feel more supported. Like the notes are just thicker.
So it's a thicker sound?
A little bit,
Beefy.
yeah. Yeah, somehow
Okay.
beefier. But they both cut just as much, and
Uh-huh.
and surprisingly the high end is there on both. I expected one to just not have the high end
Okay.
like as much as the other, but
And I rate them again. I have one more slot for
oh, okay. So
scores.
I think for when I'm just jamming, I'll give them both a 10 on tone,
Okay.
and then I would say a 9 for A feel and a 10 for B feel.
Okay.
Okay. So we went up a notch on the tone.
It's hard to
outside
tell
the mix,
when
yeah.
when you're playing outside the like. I usually judge my tone in the mix, like
Yeah.
100%, because I've jammed for hours without a mix, and I put the mix on and it sounds terrible, you know,
Yeah.
coming through. So I always play with a mix, and that's how I kind of hear like, okay, yeah, that's working, or this is
Yeah.
working, that's not.
So you're one of those, and I know you well enough to say this, like you're one of those players that you don't just sit around and noodle on the guitar. You always got some tracks going in the background for the most part, right?
Yeah, unless I'm writing, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So a mix kind of matters to you more than somebody just in a room kind of, you know, jamming and just kind of screwing around, right?
Yeah, because I used to do that all the time. I would just jam, and I would get the, dial everything in perfect, and then I would go sit down with the band, and it's like, ugh,
Yeah.
this sounds terrible. Like, this is not working at all.
It's funny how by itself and in a mix are two totally different kinds of sounds and stuff. So
It
yeah.
really is. And there's some amps that you play that there's a certain frequency that just bugs the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And so you're playing, and you're just like, I don't like this. But then you put it in a mix, and that frequency is what cuts through.
Exactly.
And that's now you're hearing everything, and it's the only reason you're hearing your notes is because of that weird frequency.
Yep, I've actually dealt with that when I bring amps home from the store. Sometimes I'll in the room I'm like, man, I don't know if I like this, and I put the earbuds in and dial it in and hear it in a mix, and then it's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
I prefer how it sounds now, mic'd up. So that's I think a lot of amp makers they make
Yeah,
them
the mix
to-
is
I got it.
everything. The mix is everything
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's insane. So you're kind of favoring B, right? Is that kind of what it's looking
Yeah.
Do you want me to? I
yeah.
can give Steve scores.
Or we can wait till the end.
Yeah, we
or-
can wait till the end. Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to
So-
spoil it.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil nothing. All right, so Steve kind of favored B for the most part, but it was still close, right?
Yeah, very close, honestly.
Yeah.
Very close. And I could have probably dialed in a little extra maybe on one and got it to feel better maybe, or more, had
Gotcha.
more support maybe. I don't know. If it, if you spend hours. We dialed in pretty good, though, for a while.
But we went with raw captures here and raw profiles. We did not tweak the profile or the capture.
Not at all. Nope.
There was no knob turning. There was no nothing afterwards. So same overdrive pedals in both units. So there was no, well, let's do this, or no, I didn't do any of that. So it's exactly the same. There's no fine tuning or tweaking, nothing. So the only thing we did with the Kemper was what you're supposed to do, is refining, and we showed that. And like Steve played for like 15 seconds, and that was about it. And then we saved it. So that was it. So all right. So hey, I guess you're out of the hot seat now, right?
All right.
Thanks, man, dude. That was
thanks, guys.
very good, very entertaining. I'm sure everybody. I loved it. You know.
Everything muted so he can.
Yep. So that was freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I was so glad you were here.
Yeah, that was freaking killer, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, TJ.
TJ's up next.
TJ's up next, man.
In the hot echoey seat.
Yeah, you guys are really in for a treat for TJ as well.
I wonder if this is it'll be echoey with TJ.
I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, you get free delay sitting in the seat here.
Did they say
Sweet.
it was just the voice that was echoey, or it was the guitar too?
Just the voice, yeah.
All
They're
right,
also
so-
now saying there's a hum. There is not a fan on.
Yeah, there's no fan. There's only so much I can do, you know, and if on, you know. You guys have no idea how much work just setting this live stream up was. It was ridiculous. Okay, so, I mean, I can listen with my earbuds again and see if there's anything going on. Because if it's there, I'll hear it. You know,
I could hear the hum when I just turned my phone up and put it in my ear. I could hear, but it just sounds like a fan in the background.
Oh, the fan's off, so it can't be that. Let me just do this real quick. I just don't want to belabor this, you know. I just want to get this going here. Because there's going to be rewatchers, and they don't want to sit through this. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever is there is probably very minimal. I appreciate the feedback on things, I really do, but I'm not hearing anything that makes me want to stop the stream and, you know, address something. Okay, so, TJ, what do you normally play?
Well, I've been playing Kemper, as you know, for a while, but I actually just recently switched to Axe Effects.
Oh, shoot.
Yep, I got an Axe Effects 3.
It's all good, man.
Was it Tears?
Little tears.
Was it Little Tears I heard?
Oh, I just took a drink.
No, I'm playing through an Axe Effects 3 right now. It's the Ingalls Savage model or whatever that's in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. You know, I can dial in, tweak my tones to my delight, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Hey, nobody's perfect.
To
I
your
get
delight.
it.
Right,
and to
exactly.
everybody else's.
Yep.
All right, so TJ plays in Axe Effects, but he played Kemper for a while, and you also, before that, you were kind of an amp dude.
I was. I played a 6505 Plus,
That's right.
and I think I just used a normal TS9 tube screamer in front, and one of those ISP decimators for noise gate. So,
Decimator.
yeah. So
Tell them about your
pretty simple.
guitar, too.
My guitar. Okay, this is a new edition. This is an Ormsby 7-string metal V. Kind of like a Randy Rhoads style V.
Guess what style of music he plays?
Yes, please
Jazz.
do. I was going to say blues. But
Little
okay,
blues,
A
yeah.
little blues, a little jazz.
Yeah.
Fusion.
Yep. I actually took the stock pickups out of this, and right now I'm rocking a Seymour Duncan Sentient in the neck, and the hottest pickup DiMarzio has, which is an X2N7 in the bridge. So, it sounds killer.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, I have your profile and your capture set up here, and you decided to do the EVH.
Yep.
And we did the red channel. We ended up going with the red channel. I had this big grand scheme of like, yeah, we're going to do 2 amps and this and blah. And then we started running out of time, and I'm like, oh, we're going to do 1 amp and 1 channel. So we got it down to 1 amp, 1 channel. He's doing the red channel on both. And he's going to play 2 mixes for you. So you're going to start on A, right?
Yep.
You're going to start with A. And what song would you like to start with, sir?
Let's do Separation.
Separation.
Yes.
You can find his music by looking up Salvation's End.
Yep.
Go ahead and tell him the rest.
You can find it on YouTube. There's a bunch of people who took the album and uploaded it for me, so I don't have to do it myself. It's fantastic. Yeah, you can find it there. You can find it on iTunes, Amazon, pretty much all major services. So, yep.
Salvation's End.
Yeah.
All right, so once you get started, we'll just play a couple riffs. Let me know when you're comfortable. Give me the nod. I'll start the track, and I'll have
Sounds
to
good.
excuse myself for a minute and be right back. But yeah, looking forward to hearing this one.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm going to mute the mic and turn on the speakers, and we are going to go. don't even know what to say, man. That was
Oh,
pretty
man.
stupid.
I got that first one down, man. I'm starting to feel a little loose now.
Yeah, there you go. So that was A, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on B and see
Woo.
how that goes, all right? So here we go. I almost want to make you play that a third time. Yeah, that was good, dude. Yeah, it's weird. We're supposed to be talking about gear here, and I just want to gush about the freaking songs you guys are playing. So,
yeah. Jamor says, is his band active? I would drive up to see them.
Yeah.
Yes, actually we are. We are playing May 7th at the Diesel Concert Lounge in Chesterfield. Yeah.
Chesterfield, Michigan.
Yeah,
Do you guys have a Facebook page or a YouTube channel?
Yep, facebook.com. One of the slashes. I always get confused with them. // You guys know the thing. And it's Salvation's End. We have a website, salvationsend.com. And we have a Bandcamp. You know, you can go check out the songs on there too.
Yeah, bring your own tent.
Yes.
All right.
Do you want to give us some scores? Tell me if you're scoring for A and B,
and
what did tone or feel.
Okay, so I'll start with A. Pretty much what I felt with A was
for tone or feel.
Tone, it was probably like a 9, I would say.
Okay.
And feel, I would probably be a 7, I would say.
Okay.
For that.
All right.
And for B, it would be a 10 for tone for sure.
No looking.
And my bad. For that, and it would be a I would say probably a 9 for feel. It's close, super close.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the reason I picked those though is it by itself, A sounded pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
You know, it sounded like just I don't know, mechanical almost.
Okay.
You know, if that makes sense. But when the mix came in, it kind of felt like it cut through a little too much, maybe.
Okay.
And then with B, it felt like it just fit right in the pocket better of the mix.
Okay. So B was a better mix.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Situation.
Yep.
All right. Now, what about, like, I guess I'm just trying to do my job here.
Sure.
And have people like understand different things. Like, which one sounded thicker and fuller, and you know what I mean?
Oh, B definitely.
B was thicker.
Yeah.
And meatier.
It had a nice thing in the low mids that I was doing that I feel like A didn't quite have.
And again, the reason why we're doing this and I'm pressing is because I know when I watch my videos back, there's stuff that I heard in the room that I don't hear on YouTube because of the compression.
Right.
So that's why I'm pressing here and trying to get good answers for you guys, because you guys have to count on us for that. So, so you're hearing a thicker, meatier kind of low mids kind of push.
Yeah,
And,
where like I said, it's like A sounds a little bit more mechanical. So if like I was to maybe play more single note riffs or maybe more technical stuff, it might sound cool for that kind of stuff. But I do a lot of like power chords on top of the single note stuff.
Yeah,
and
you do a pretty good mix of both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
yeah. But for me, I mean, if I were to go live, it would probably be B before it'd be A.
Okay.
I mean, they both sound great, but
So-
I like B.
Okay, so based on that's something I probably should have asked Steve, and I guess we can ask that at the end too. You know, maybe we should if you could remind me to like which one would you buy based on what you experienced today. You know, but so far, you're favoring B. So let's go ahead and do the next mix, which is Storm, right?
Right.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic, and we're going to start with A on this one. He stays on A through the whole song. Then we'll do it. We'll just go right to B, transition right to it.
Sounds great.
And then we'll talk about that, and then we'll do some riffs, and then that'll be it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to mute the mic. right. Okay, so what do you think between what did you just play? B?
Yep, that was
Okay.
B. First one was A.
Okay.
So this is actually really, really weird. So I thought my lead sounded better on B,
Okay.
but I feel like the rhythm sounded better on A.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why. I mean, it's really weird, but that mechanical sound oddly worked for that song.
Okay. So
You
it
know?
just depends on the song and
Yeah,
different
exactly.
needs. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I got you.
Yep. I mean, they both sounded really, really good. So I would say probably in terms of tone, I would probably give A 9. And then in terms of feel, I'd probably give that one a 9.
Okay.
And then B, same thing. I mean, the tone sounds fantastic. It still has that like nice thick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know the proper wording for it.
Oh, it's
but
thicker.
yeah, it's
you
just
know?
it is thicker. So I mean, that one I'll still give a 9 for that one, and for
So
feel.
for B.
Yep, for B.
Okay.
Yep, and then feel I'll give that one a 10 because that one it felt a little closer to a real amp if that makes
Okay.
sense.
All right.
So
Okay.
yeah, but I don't know with the mix and everything. It just doing those
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
little
Gotcha.
gallops in between. It just you heard it better.
Oh, I got you. So
Yeah.
now what we're going to do is start from A and go B, A, B, A, B. However many times you got to go back and forth. Do some shreds. Do some riffs. So let's do it this way. Let's start out with some just rhythm kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then we'll go to some shreddy stuff between the two. Just let me know, and I'll turn the delays on both of them, so you can,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying. So
Before you mute, I just want to say thank you. We got 2 super chats. Anxious Nation, thank you very much. He says, thanks for getting such great players on tonight.
oh, thank you.
Chicago Todd, thank you for the super chat. Monster players on monster gear on a monster show.
Oh, thank you. I mean, that's why
Thank
we
you, guys.
designed this the way we did. We want you to be entertained as well as informed. You know, that's kind of what we try to do here, you know. So we appreciate the acknowledgement of that, and we appreciate these guys being here. You know, I mean, that's one of the best ways. I mean, you can support the show is share and super chat, because you would not believe the hours of time and the effort that goes into making this work. I mean, we've been working on this since noon today as far as today goes, but I've already put in several hours before this, and Carrie has too, with all the preliminary stuff. So we appreciate that, and that literally is what keeps us going and doing this, because, you know, I mean, it's a labor of love, but it's a labor nonetheless, you know, I mean, and being supported monetarily definitely does go a long way with us, because we want to keep doing this. You know,
Anxious
we really do.
Nation, thanks again. He sent another super chat. He said, let's get some super chats going to help that amplifier bill.
Yeah, thank you. It just got higher because I got a Badlander. So, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, just so people know, like, there's not like all these companies like showering me with gear. I buy this stuff with my own money, you know, and I do it so that we can have a show that promotes good gear, and you guys can have awesome shootouts and stuff. So that's literally why I do it, you know.
Yep. And just so you guys know, we'll probably be on until 10 o'clock. It's 9:40 right now. We didn't start until 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
We typically have a 2-hour show, so
Yeah,
we will be on until about 10 o'clock-ish.
Yeah, we'll be on for a bit here. So, all right. So, TJ's got to do some rhythms and leads. So we'll start with rhythms back and forth, A,
Yep.
B, A, B, whatever, and then give me the nod. I'll turn on the delays on both, and then do some shreds, and
Yeah.
then we'll do a rank between the two units based on what you're experiencing outside of a mix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and mute the mic. All right. So what do you think based on what you just experienced there?
All right. So this is actually really interesting because I feel like with A, it feels, I don't know, like a little too top endy.
Okay.
You know, like
All
with B, it went back to feeling kind of like a real amp in the room.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. So I think with A, it just felt too much high mids, too much just high end in general.
Okay.
It's weird because it almost sounded like the guitar was clipping a little bit when it really wasn't.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, with B, like I said, it felt like a legit amp in the room.
Okay.
So for that, I would give both tone and feel for A probably like a 7, and then for B, I would give that a solid 10 for both.
Both. Wow.
Both, yep.
Okay. Wow. So that's pretty revealing. So outside of a mix, you noticed more. And
Fizz,
then
maybe.
Yeah. So in a mix, like it got hidden, but outside.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Okay. Did you feel like, you know how like sometimes when you play, whether it's an amp or a digital platform or whatever, sometimes you won't take chances and do things that are a little more risky because you're like, I don't know. It's like thin ice. Like I don't know if this is gonna do that.
Yeah.
Where like some other products you play, and you're like, dude, I can do no wrong right now. I feel like I'm at top of the world. So, did you feel any difference that way with these two units?
Yeah, it would be. It definitely felt like, okay, I can go on stage and I can play and feel completely comfortable,
Okay.
knowing that I'll have this and be set, you know. But
Okay.
I feel like it's kind of weird, but with A, how it is right now, I'm sure with tweaking it would probably sound great. But if I were to go up and I just start chugging, I feel like people in the audience would be like, what is that ice piercing in the ear kind of sound, you know?
But with B, you felt like it just beefier. And,
Yeah.
And just,
A low end. You know, the chugging parts, especially those bigger chords.
There's a throaty
Yeah.
nastiness to
Yeah.
some of the stuff that you were doing. And
Right.
I'm not trying to influence anything here, but I'm just giving my thoughts on what I'm experiencing, and I just on some of the stuff like with Steve and you, there was just some notes that you guys were hitting on one of the products in particular that were just, there was more rasp and just nasty, like just filth and just awesome stuff to them. So
Right.
yeah, I
Right,
noticed
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good. We scored those two, right? Okay.
Yep, he's done.
All right, so the next
Sweet.
thing we have to do is I have to leave the room because these guys are going to switch cables or not on me, so I can't know what's what here. And then I'm going to come back and bore you with my crappy songs after you guys heard this stuff. So, and then Steve's going to do some switching for me. So let me select my things here. So there's my Savage there. Yeah, so basically this is lead. That's rhythm, and you just tap this, and it goes up to the morph for lead. Tap it again, same thing. Yeah, and I'm good to go. So, all right, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta leave the room for them to trick me.
No listening.
No, listen, I'm
Plug
going
your
upstairs.
ears.
Going upstairs.
So I pulled them both out. Do we want to switch them? Or do we want to trick them and leave them both? I think that's probably because he's gonna think we switched them,
Right.
but we won't tell him.
Right. Maybe we should let them decide. So you guys are saying, let's see, Flashback 01. This is going to be hilarious if after all the QC hype that Kemper wins this. Again, I think B is Kemper. So Flashback
It's gonna be
thinks
close.
B is Kemper. Liam says, bam, low end, augment, mid bump, B, definitely Kemper. Strike me down if I'm wrong. Bruce, B is the quad Cortex. It has the warm tube tone throughout. Anxious Nation. I was tempted by the quad Cortex, but I'm more than happy with my Kemper for now. I'm curious what the next Helix will offer. Yeah, Jared has said that about the Helix too. He wants to know what the next step is going to be. Jay from Warm Chord. Well, Steve thought A and B was almost a wash, whereas TJ favored B pretty much definitely. Yeah? You're right. I'm not saying you're right in your answers, but I hear what you're saying.
I kind of favored B a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The notes
You
kind of
did.
jumped off the.
You
off the
did.
guitar
I'm
a
looking
little
at
bit.
your scores. Guarav,
I
hey,
should
how are
grab
you?
my
Good
drink.
morning. I saw you tune in a little bit earlier. They said the second one sounds like a Kemper. We're going to find out here
How
very
you know?
shortly.
We are gonna find out.
Dean Harkness says, I don't know what's what, but based on this, if I had a Kemper, I wouldn't sell it for a QC for a Quad Cortex just yet. Yes, and thanks for all the extra super chats that have come in. That is awesome, you guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, because I'm not kidding you, man. This was a lot of work.
Yeah, Jamor, Scott Palmer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. You know, appreciation goes a long way with me. 'Cause,
I appreciate my shoes.
it really does. You know, because you guys have no idea how much work this is. All right, so
All right, no peeking.
I ain't peeking. Okay, so I don't know. I honestly don't know which one's which right now. So I'm gonna be playing. I gotta select my songs. I'm gonna do. I didn't have a lot of time to.
Give a couple shorter songs.
Well,
Don't play the 10-minute one.
it is what it is right now. You know. I mean, we're just trying to be thorough and entertaining and everything else. I get that. We're trying to respect everyone's time. So I'm gonna play 2 songs. I'm going to do some riffs, and then we're going to go ahead and score everything, and we're going to reveal the scores, do a quick Q&A with you guys, and we're going to have a little roundtable discussion with us as quick as we can, but we want to be informative. This is going to be viewed for a long time by a lot of people. We want to make sure that we get our points across, you know, because once this is done, it's done. We're not going to redo this, you know. We're just trying to be as thorough as we can.
What are you playing? What amp are you using?
What am I using?
Savage.
Oh, the Savage. Yeah. It's been a long day. Savage. So I'm using the Ingle Savage Mark II Channel 4. And then Steve's going to be switching for me. And I'm going to start out with, The Catacombs, one of my songs that I do a lot on the show. And, yeah, so we're going to go ahead. I'll play some riffs and get started. And I'm going to start with A. And then I'll do the same song again with B. So I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic. There you go. You're good. All right. Yeah, that was interesting. I feel like, all right, between the two, I feel like B was beefier, and I'm all about that beefy. I'm a protein fanatic, so I'm all about that beefy sound. I like that fuller, fatter, kind of ridiculous sound. It felt a little better than A. I thought A was good, but there was a bit of a thinner kind of thing going on there. I'm kind of relating to what TJ said. Like, there was a thinness there, right? Like, I mean, the top end was, you know, comparatively, the top end was good, but it was like there was something a little not natural about it, right? Is that kind of what you were thinking? I'm looking at TJ off camera here. Yeah, where the top end of B felt, I don't know, it just felt really natural, and there was a richness in the tone, and I just felt, I don't know, I just felt more supported. Yeah, a little on the brittle side. Yeah. So, and again, you guys, you got to trust our what we're saying here, because we're not dealing with YouTube compression. It's in the room. So, I would say I favor B here. I don't know what you guys did with the cables, but so B was bigger and fuller. So I'm gonna give B, like, God, it's just a 10 all the way around, both. Like, I felt really supported playing it. The reactive feel was great. The sound was sick. I thought the sound was great on the leads and the rhythms. A feel was a 7. Tone was a 7.5. Is that going to screw you up? Can you do 7.5? Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking, you know. So let me do one more mix here for you. Let me find it.
I'm gonna slide past you and grab some water.
Okay, do your thing.
I don't
3
know if
shots
I'll be
and a
able
chaser.
to. I won't be able to come back till you're done playing, so I'll
Okay.
just keep my phone with
Okay,
me.
do your thing. Do y'all's thing. All right. So now I'm going to do a couple riffs, and then I'm going to start 3 shots and a chaser, and I'm going to start the fan too. So let's go ahead. Can you mute the mic, please? All right. Here, you need to get through?
Yeah.
All right. Do your thing. Okay, so...
All right.
I'd say I favored B on that one as well. I felt like it was thicker, more responsive. I liked the top end better. It was more pleasant to the ears. And I just felt more supported. It felt more like a real amp. And I felt like playing harder. Like I wanted to dig into the strings more. And it was more reactive and fun. Let's just repeat the scores. Same. So whatever the scores were last time, go ahead and copy and paste those.
A 10.
Yep.
And a 10, and then a 7.5 and a 7. You just can't play normal, can you?
No, I'm not normal. You know that. All right, so now I'm just going to do some riffs between the two. I'm going to start with A, then go to B, and score that, and then Carrie's going to add up the scores, and we're going to reveal the winner and see what's what. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic there, please. Checking. All right.
I don't know, but A is hurting my ears.
Yeah, I would have to say,
I don't like it.
I would have to definitely say that I even favor B more outside of the mix. I'm going to give B.
You cannot give it more than a 10, Jared.
Okay. Hey, it's my show. I make 10.1.3.5 divided by the quotient of. So I'm going to say, especially compared to them side by side, I'm going to give solid 10s on B. It was just so thick and nasty and rich, and it felt so good to play. And there wasn't any harsh frequencies in it. But A was like, outside of the mix, it was pretty shrill on the top end. It was pretty shrill in some spots.
Carrie's ears.
Yeah, and I'm sitting just above the speakers, so you're at speaker level, So and that's why I wanted to do some leads and stuff, because I want my leads to be sweet. I want the notes to be just glorious and sweet. There should be this nice glassy kind of I don't know, sweet sound that doesn't hurt your ears. And it
all hurt my ears.
Yeah, with A, I'm not saying it was horrible, but there was definitely a harshness there.
You probably tweaked it a little bit.
But that's the thing, we didn't tweak anything.
Yeah.
We wanted to see what the actual products did, because if you got to tweak it, I get that, okay, that's all right, but, we wanted to see what the raw capture and profile would be like. So I'm going to have to give, outside of a mix, 6s.
Yeah, I'd
on
give 'em, like,
on A.
2s.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it 6s. Honestly, 6s.
For feel as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
the feel. I felt like I don't know. It felt weird. The strings felt strange when I played that. It didn't feel awful, but it didn't feel as good as. I mean, A or B, I felt like I could do no wrong. I was like, oh, I could play this all day.
Yeah.
Like I was super confident.
Well, I
It was
know
great.
that you want to talk about that
Yeah,
and stuff, so
let's go ahead
Yeah.
and so we'll put down the guitars and pick up our beers. And so now let's do a quick little discussion.
do you want me to give them the... They want to know who won.
Well, of course, yeah.
All right.
Wait 1 second. Let's bring TJ in. Hey, TJ, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Can we move
Grab
this?
your
Yeah,
Maybe.
let's move this.
Can just
And
get this drink out of here.
yeah, thanks for switching for me, Steve.
Yeah.
So
You
we'll
can
get-
bring that EVH stool and pop
All right.
one of you.
So this is the pièce de résistance.
I will sit back here on the stool,
And then we'll
he
just
can have
watch
the
the
EVH.
monitor and see what
I
you're
don't want
at.
to be in front of everybody.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
I don't...
Squeeze in.
Yeah.
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 Let's see what-
You can.
There we
You
go.
can come
Squish
For a
close.
little bit. Yeah.
Yep, I showered. Yep. All right, so quick discussion before we get into the comments and stuff. But so now's the time to have your comments and your questions. Please ask them now,
Yep.
and we will answer them in Tag Tone Wars or Super Chat. Either way, that helps us see the comment better. We don't want to miss your comment. That's why I'm saying this, because your comments and questions are very important to us, and we don't want anybody to feel neglected. Okay, so all right. So let's start with you, Steve. Which one would you tour with right now, A or B?
Definitely B. Yeah,
Okay.
because I had the support of those extra notes.
Okay. All
When I
right.
was trying to get those extra pick squeals, and I kind of tested it a few times, and you could tell like when you were losing it and when you had them there. And
Okay.
B had just way more support. I don't know why or what we did differently. Or
Okay. So it's not even a thought. Like you're definitive.
yeah, and I was wondering if it would be just me, but then when you guys played it and you had separate amps that you profiled and
Yeah.
dialed them in separate, you
Yeah.
did the overdrives different for
Yeah.
each of you guys,
Yep.
Right.
and it seemed to come the same way, or it seemed
Yeah.
like everybody felt the same way about it.
Yeah,
anyway.
so everybody used their own stuff, and everybody dialed everything in the way they were satisfied with, separately from each other.
Helix Cabana Boy wants to know why we didn't use a real cab.
Well, they're direct units, so you want to show what these sound like.
Direct.
Direct. So when you go to front of house and you plug in or a studio, you just use the main outs and do that. So I mean, it's a good question, but it's definitely not what this show was about tonight. We
Right.
wanted to show how these captured the amplifier and the cab and the mics and all that, and projected that, because that's really, at the end of the day, that's the whole goal with these products, is that you want to slap it on the floor, plug into front of house, and go.
Yep.
That's the reason. I mean, most people don't want to. I mean, if you're buying a cab with your unit, I mean, I understand why people like to do that, but in a way, you're a little bit defeating the purpose, because it's like, well, weren't you supposed to travel light? And I get this big old cab. It's like we got rid of horses for a reason. We put engines in our car. Why put a horse in front of it?
Well, keep in mind too, when you're traveling light, you're not really traveling light. I mean,
Yeah.
my band, we have a whole in-ear rig. It's all
Yeah.
in a rack case.
I get it.
Guess
I
who
get
sets
it.
that up? This guy.
This guy.
So,
I'm
Would
familiar.
you really want anybody else to do it, though?
no, not at all.
I'm
No.
familiar.
It's like a brand new car. It's like nobody can drive it but me.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I don't have a stage or a cabinet on stage at all. I just think
Yeah.
it takes up too much room.
In ears.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know if it would have made a difference really.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if it would.
It would have
either.
sounded different for each
Yeah.
of them, but it wouldn't have made one better
Yeah.
than the other.
I don't
It's a-
think the audience would have really heard the difference either.
Yeah,
if there was
it's a
cabinet
good
in
question, but yeah, we
Yeah.
did this for a direct out kind of thing. All right, so you have a definitive B as far as what you would tour with right now. If you had both of them sitting in front of you, you'd be like, I'm
Yeah.
grabbing this,
Yeah.
going on tour. So what
Yeah.
about you?
there. It would be B.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, I would probably
Right.
back the mids down a little bit, but other than that, that's like minor stuff that you,
Okay.
you know.
Mhm.
All right. And for me, it would be a very definitive B. I would feel much better about going on tour, going in the studio, writing whatever with B. I feel more comfortable with that. And I don't know what these guys did to the cables after I left the room, so it could be something different. I don't know. But all I can say is B is 100% definitive answer for me. I'm not saying that A sucked or was terrible, but I definitely prefer B. So I guess that's kind of what it is. So
Okay.
why don't you reveal like each individual score,
Okay.
please, and then the total.
Sure. So Steve went first. Steve's let's see, overall. Sorry, the quad Cortex was A,
Oh, okay.
and the Kemper was B. Through the
Okay.
whole show, we were
Oh!
we were
Oh!
afraid.
So you guys totally fooled
Well,
me.
we took it out. We switched it.
But then
Then we switched it back.
I was like, we're gonna plug these in, and it's gonna break. So we just kept it the same. So the
Okay.
whole show, Quad Cortex was A, and the Kemper was B.
Okay.
So then for the Quad Cortex feel was 25, and the Kemper feel was 30.
That's Steve?
That's for Steve, yep. For the Quad Cortex tone, it was 28, and the Kemper tone was 28 for Steve. So they tied on tone for
Okay,
him,
all right.
but the Kemper felt better.
Feel better?
It feels better.
Yeah, it feels a big deal, you know. So what about TJ?
So for TJ, the Quad Cortex feel was 23, the Kemper feel was a 29, the Quad Cortex tone was a 25, and the Kemper was a 29.
Okay. All right.
So overall, with TJ, the Quad Cortex got a 48, the Kemper got a 58, and I didn't tell
10
you
more
your
points,
overall.
man.
It was 53
Wow.
and 58 for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
So for Jared,
watch that rack behind you.
the Quad Cortex feel got a 20, the Kemper feel got a 30,
Oh, okay.
the Quad Cortex tone got a 20, and the Kemper tone got a 30.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow.
So
Okay.
overall, Quad Cortex 41, Kemper was a 60 for you.
Wow,
So there's
that's
quite
a big difference.
Yeah,
So
well,
what's-
you gave the Kemper perfect scores.
Well,
I mean,
it felt good. It felt great. I mean, so all right. So what about the overall?
okay, so overall for tone, the winner was the Kemper. So the Quad Cortex got 74, the Kemper got an 87.
Okay, that's for tone.
That's for tone.
So 74 to 87 tone.
Yes.
Kemper. Okay.
Yep. For feel, the Quad Cortex got a 68, the Kemper got an 89. So Kemper again won
Wow.
for the feel.
Yep.
And then the overall, everything included, Kemper had 176, Quad Cortex had a 142.
176, 142.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
pretty defining score. And
Yeah.
guys, again, this is blind. I don't care who wins. I really don't give a crap. I play amps. Steve plays amps. TJ plays a freaking X Effects. We'll take him out. Yeah, we'll take him out and fix him after the show.
Yeah. with
Anxious
a tire iron.
Anxious Nation says my wallet approves of these results. I love that.
He's probably got a Kemper already.
Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of happy wives tonight.
Yeah,
You're
I did not
kidding.
expect the
Yeah.
results to be that way. I expected the quad to really.
Yeah, to decimate.
Mhm.
You know what's funny is, the Kemper is old tech, and it's still. I mean, I guess that speaks volumes. Well, I have to do one of these too, because I did the profiles, But I mean, I learned a lot, and thanks to a lot of people on the channel that have commented and helped me out with some of the things, and I've applied
Hey.
what I learned, and the profiles did come out really good.
I know you had a goal
Yes.
tonight. We're at 99.
Oh, we're at
Oh.
99. Come on,
Right.
one more. I
One
want
more.
to hit 100.
Somebody get their wife
Somebody
to
log in.
log in.
Yeah, I just want 100 so I can screenshot it.
I
and
can,
be like,
I can log in real quick. No problem. No problem.
Oh, it dropped to 96.
oh yeah,
Oh, no.
thanks for that. So anyways, but I mean, I think this was a pretty definitive thing. No one's paid us. No one sent me either one of these products from, like I said, Todd did, and we appreciate that. I own the Kemper, and I don't care if it wins or not. I couldn't care less because I play my amps. But no companies sent me anything, so there's none of that going on. And I just think that what Kemper does, it just does it so well. And I like the fact that when we do the profiles, we can refine them. And I think that that's what made the difference, is that you refined your profiles with your pickups, your guitar, your riffs. And the Kemper took that information and said, okay, this is what you like. You did the same thing. Yep. I did the same thing. And they felt great. And it's a way, I think the refining process is a way for us to personalize our profiles, and make them work best for us. And I've said this for a while, like, who makes the best profiles? You do. Because you can make your own with your guitar and your stuff the way that you like them. And that's what it was meant for anyways, from the beginning, is for people to make their own profiles and take their rig on tour by leaving it at home, not lugging it around,
Aaron Lucas asked, he said, for Carrie as a listener in the room, which was better?
Oh, that's good. Good question.
We know the answer to that.
Right. Early on, it was harder to tell. I definitely agreed with the way you guys scored it, but later on, when you were plugged in, I was making faces when it was super harsh.
Because his tone so well.
Yeah, yep.
There was a harshness with the Savage that I was kind of like, and it was thin. It was thinner and harsher. Now, it's double tracked in a mix, blah, blah. There's going to be so many people that, in a mix, double tracked and blah. It's like, look, dude, I'm not a studio engineer. I'm a player. These guys are players. We're all players. We want to play something. So for that minuscule 30 guys out there that are professional studio engineers that are looking for something to put in their mixes, I don't care what they think. I don't, because they're not playing them. You know what they play guitar with? One of these. They play your guitar with one of these. They reamp your guitar with a mouse. They click on it and go, okay, let's reamp through this product. They're not feeling it. They're not playing it. All they care about is, does it sit well in this particular mix that I did with this band? They don't care. They're not playing the guitar through it. We are. So that's why that stuff matters to us.
You know what's really weird, too, I'm going to say real quick, is that a thin guitar or a sound is not going to get thicker with more guitars. It's just going to sound worse. I mean, now
sound more thin.
Yeah, now if you back the gain down and you have something that's a little bit like thicker sounding, it'll sound like a wall of sound, like it's supposed to sound. Yeah. But something like that, no.
Yeah, and he's a Full Sail graduate, so that tells you something.
I haven't seen it yet, but they're saying that we've hit 100. They're screenshotting.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
awesome.
Mine's still at 94, but maybe if I back out and come back in.
Yeah, I'm at 93, so I want to. Somebody send me that screenshot.
It must have been there at some point.
Right.
I'm not kidding you guys. That was a goal today. Like, I want to hit 100 for once in my life, I mean, because did we put in the hours today.
Are you going to share the Savage capture?
Yes. So here's what we're going to do. So all of the Kemper profiles will be available along with my free sample pack on my website tomorrow. I have to upload them and put them in there, but they will be in there, and I'll call it, what should I call it? Shootout profiles or?
Sure.
Okay, they'll be in a folder called Shootout profiles. So for you to enjoy, they're free. It's a free sample for all the Kemper people.
This is 99 now.
And when I get a Quad Cortex cloud account, I'll put those ones up on the Quad Cortex cloud for you guys as well for free. It's just, I'm running two businesses. I'm running Tone Wars and I'm running my pressure washing business, and it's super busy right now. So when I get a chance, I will put those up, and I'll make an announcement in the community section on the channel. But yeah, so I think tonight was pretty definitive. Again, what were those final scores with tone and feel added up together?
Tone and feel added up together. Kemper was 176. Quad Cortex was 142.
Okay, and all three of us definitively preferred the Kemper. If we were to go on tour right now, we would grab the Kemper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that...
That's what, 12 years old?
Yes,
now?
It's about 12 years old.
So they're saying right now that the Quad Cortex is a baby and it'll only get better from here.
Oh, for sure.
And
Probably.
I agree.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Let me throw out some food for thought though. how is it going to get better? And I'm not trying to be combative with you, and I'm not trying to downplay the Quad Cortex. I've enjoyed playing it, and I think it's an excellent piece of gear.
Ooh, 101. I got it.
Oh, you got it?
I
Oh, 103. Woo! All right. I just screenshot
Oh, I
it,
got
too.
it.
We're at
102.
103. Yeah, awesome.
Awesome.
We made it. Top of the world, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But let me just say this. And again, I'm not trying to be, combative with you or anything. I understand that the Quad Cortex is just a hatchling, and I have a lot of respect for what they're doing with it, and I think it's a great product. So how is it going to get better? Are they going to? I know they're going to add effects, and they're also going to be adding probably some routing and switching options and different ways of using it, making it more user friendly, which it's very user friendly.
Yeah.
And they're going to be
Refining.
adding. Yeah,
They
they're
might
going to
add more refining.
Yeah, guys, if you're watching, refining, I think that's what made the difference here. I really do. Another thing is, I think the other thing they're going to add is more effects and stuff like that. But how are they going to change the way it profiles? See, that's where it comes down to. Like, is it going to get better regarding that, or is that pretty much just set in stone?
Well, to that, I think what it is that the Kemper has been out for, 12 years, you guys said? There's been tricks and tips that people have learned along the way that maybe we just need time for the QC, because people might discover new ways of doing things that way. So.
Well, you're right. And the number one trick I think that the Kemper has, other than whatever algorithms it uses, and I don't even begin to think about, I can't even tell you what those are, is the fact that you do the refining. I think the refining process is the best way to, it's almost like we all buy the same suit, but we have it tailored differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's tailored. You walk out and you're like, I'm freaking James Bond. You know what I mean? Like, say something mean to me and I'll clock you. I'm freaking James Bond. So that's basically what it is. It's like you're walking out with a tailored suit when you get the Kemper, when you refine your own profiles. And thank God I learned that last week because, man, that's what really made the difference. It really did.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think refining it for yourself, too, it makes an even bigger difference. Because when we played, for instance, my guitar, it's a lot thinner. The pickups are a lot weaker. And then your guitar is fatter and a lot hotter.
And you're telling the Kemper that. You're saying, hey, Kemper, I have these kinds of pickups. And the Kemper's like, okay, well, then I guess your amp's going to sound like this with those kind of pickups.
Right.
So when you play it, you're like, yep, that sounds like what I'm familiar with. Yep.
Bruce says the Quad Cortex has a better screen and it's more user friendly.
Yes,
100%.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Very.
But and I agree with you, and I appreciate you being here and commenting, and I totally understand what you're saying. But at the end of the day, and I'm just saying this as not to be combative, but just to just put food for thought out there. I mean, the audience that's listening to you while you're playing on stage or listening to your music is never going to say, wow, that screen sounds amazing. You know what I mean? And I'm not making fun of you. I agree, the Quad Cortex is amazing. But at the end of the day, what does it sound like when you're on stage? Are you melting faces when you're up there with amazing, playing that's like... associated with how inspired you are with what you're hearing, and the reaction that you got. Dude, I could say this now because I didn't want to come off as like trying to color you a certain way, as far as like your thoughts go. But man, there were some notes when you were playing the Kemper that you were hitting that I was like, dude, that is just disgusting, filthy, nasty awesomeness. Same thing with you. Yeah. You were grabbing some stuff that I'm like, oh my God. The rich tone and the thickness that's there, it even came through the mix, and it was amazing. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, I could tell when I was playing the Quad. There were some that just it wasn't there. I was playing it and it just wasn't hitting for some reason.
Wasn't there. Right. So they need to fix their algorithms and whatever it is that they're doing with the product that it captures with, because when everything sounds great until you A/B it with something, and then that's when. It's like bodybuilding competitions, I mean, you see this big guy walk up on stage, you're like, oh, that guy's going to win. And then there comes last year's champion. You're like, oh, never mind. that guy's gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's throwing a shadow over that dude because it only matters until it doesn't matter until you get them side by side.
But
Right.
the Kemper could use an upgrade on the
That's what
screen.
they were
And
saying,
Oh.
yeah.
the plugging, like earlier when we had to run back, plug the plug in, run back to the computer, and then pull up the thing and dial it
The
in,
editor.
and then you hope you
Yeah.
save it and you hope
Yeah.
it works, and then you run back and you unplug it so
Yep.
you don't have that stupid ground loop
Yeah,
noise.
yeah. That's
And
why
then
we were late
because
today.
there's no way. I mean, you'd be sitting
Yeah.
there twisting knobs for hours
No.
trying to find your profile.
I
in
hate
there.
doing that on any modeler. There shouldn't be
Yeah.
a need for it. You know, just plug it into a computer and
But the quad was just you touch
Yeah.
it and
Well, there's pluses and minuses with both. I know you want to read some comments. Let me just say this before you do it. Two things. Number one, the thing I love about the Kemper when you're doing profiling is that you don't have to disconnect and reconnect everything so that you can hear everything right away to dial things in. With
right
the Kemper,
when you're
can't.
making the profiles.
Yeah, when the Kemper, it's all hooked up and you can just literally listen to it
Mhm.
immediately. That's
Yep.
nice. So that is a workflow thing where the Kemper beats the QC. The other thing I will say is, Chris Kemper, I know you're watching. Either you're watching now or you're going to be watching in the future. I'll bet anything that you're going to watch this video. You're probably already here. So hello. And so here's what I'll say to you, sir. If you put a touch screen on the Kemper and make it easier to use for everyone, I honestly think you're going to be king of the hill for a long time. I really do. I honestly do. Hear me when I say this. If you put that on there, that is going to be what defines your product and sets you apart, because we just proved today that what the Kemper does, it does it better than any other product out there, no matter what they call themselves and how much they charge for it. It really does. You had a definitive win today regarding tone and feel, but for people that want that screen and that workflow that's user-friendly, some people might go that way, and if you want to get your marketplace back or your market space back, put that screen on there and make it easier to use, because if you do that, I don't see you losing anything as far as competitions for a long time, because that's always the thing. It's always the thing that people say when they say, yeah, but my product's easier to use, and it's like, I understand that, but I can use the Kemper. A lot of people that watch this can use the Kemper just fine. But I will say that the QC is definitely easier to use. Go ahead, Carrie.
So Gaurav Lama has a question for TJ. The Axe Effects or the Helix? Which feels better, bro?
the XFX. Yeah. The Helix is really awesome. It's a great overall product. I think the effects are fantastic in it. I would probably use the Helix with like a 4-cable method if you're doing like a real tube amp or something like the Synergy rig. I think it's fantastic for that. But in terms of like overall gain, and not only that, but there's like over 250 amps on the XFX, and I haven't even scratched the surface. I probably got like enough presets for like maybe 10.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it's a great sounding unit for sure.
Let's see. I don't know how. Georgie, he says, hey guys, long time no see. From all these wars and tests all around, we learned don't trust hype in marketing. Trust your own ears and kind of trust in German engineering.
Dude, Germans can make some good stuff, man. Thank you for being here and for commenting. The thing is I think it's easier for people to get caught up in all the hype. I really do. I think
I agree.
everybody jumps on the hype train and it feels good and everything. But what happens is there's this honeymoon thing. And after the honeymoon's over, everyone's kind of like, yeah, that hype train thing was kind of fun, but I don't know. I'm kind of hearing some things or feeling some things that I'm not 100% satisfied with. And, that OG Kemper over there that just has all the effects that you want, more than what you want, and just does what it does so well. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, I don't tweak my Kemper. I play it. So for guys that want to sit at their desk all day and turn knobs and and it's like, dude, how good are you at playing guitar as opposed to turning knobs? This isn't an erector set. This isn't a puzzle. It's not a thing to play with. I mean, you're supposed to play your guitar through it and write and record and perform and do all that stuff with. And the guys that want to just sit there and tweak all day, it's like, how good are you at your craft? How good are you at your instrument? What's the last song you wrote? Are you good at what you do? You know, and a lot of times, and I say this with no disrespect, but a lot of times people that even come on here and say stuff to me like, oh, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I go on their channel and I see how they play, and I'm just like, dude, you really shouldn't be talking. Because, I mean, you couldn't play your way out of a paper bag, and you're sitting there trying to tell me how to do things, you know? And it's like, and I'm no freaking god of guitar, but for crying out loud, you know, I think if we just concentrate more on our craft and stop turning knobs, we'll be better. And the thing is again, with the Kemper, just play it. Dial in your profile, add your effects, and that's it. Just play. It's getting out of hand with all this tweaking stuff.
Well,
you know?
something else I would mention too about the whole hype train is that we talked about this already. There was tons of products out there that a bunch of YouTubers are recommending. They're just like, oh yeah, this is the best thing ever. It sounds like a real tube amp. You get it, and it turns out that it's not.
Well, and they got paid to say that.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid for any of this stuff. We are loyal to you, our audience. We're here for you. We're not here for companies.
Right.
So if I think the Kemper's better, it's not because Christoph Kemper sent me a Christmas card with a $100 bill in it. It's because I just think it's better. If I thought the QC was better, it wouldn't be because I don't even know who the people are over there. If they sent me a Christmas card with a $100 bill in it. Now, $200, I might, I'm just kidding. But, I'm just saying, like, I own a pressure washing business. I do okay for myself. I don't need to go out and hawk gear and and be somebody's fanboy.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Well, and something else too is people should just keep in mind what works best for you works best for you. Don't be afraid to try things. Like I love the Kemper. I thought the Helix was a fantastic unit.
Yep.
I'm playing Axe Effects right now because right now it fits my needs. Who knows? I mean, 6 months from now I might end up changing my mind and going back to Kemper.
We're all on the carousel.
Yep.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I come down here, one day I'll play the Diesel, I'll be like, oh my God, this thing's glorious. And the next day I'll pull into my, I don't know, the Splon and be like, holy crap, why don't I play this every day?
Right.
It happens, so play what works best for you. And you know what? If you're out there having a good time and you're enjoying yourself and you're writing music and you're getting better at your craft, then you picked the right product.
Yep.
Because it's helping you advance your craft. So that's really what it is. Is this product helping you advance your craft? Yes. Then keep playing it. I've seen street musicians play through crappy
little practice amps.
Yeah, and it's like,
and they're awesome.
Yeah,
they're fantastic. Yep. Yeah.
You're like, what the hell, man?
Yep.
So it really comes down to, are you good at your craft? Yeah, then keep doing what you're doing. Carrie.
So Jay asked, how did the players feel about the Quad Cortex when they were profiling and dialing in the tones before the show started compared to the live show?
I totally have something for this. I felt the profiling took too long.
That's right.
Wow, I was just like, wow, it's still going. It's still going.
The switching was a little frustrating because you play it a certain way, but then you have to rewire it to profile. And then so I had to profile my 2 amps, or we did 2, and then we decided to do 1.
Yeah.
But then we'd have to switch it back to play a little bit and add the overdrive and everything. Yeah. And then when we go to the next guy, we had to re-switch the wires again and profile, then re-switch the wires and play. And the Kemper, we didn't have to. It was nice that we didn't have to do that.
Yeah, we just leave it one spot.
It's like an A/B, between the reference amp and the.
You can
profile.
A/B with the Quad Cortex.
You can.
Yeah, you can. But the thing is when you dial it in and you want to play it direct and put all your stuff in there, you have to unhook everything and start from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing-wise, though, I couldn't tell at first. Playing-wise, I was like, all right, this sounds great. This is going to kill the Kemper.
Yeah.
And then we did the Kemper, and then we did the A-Bing, and it was...
That's why we do blind. And the thing is that's why we do this. That's why we do the whole A-B thing, because I'm telling you, I can't say it enough. Everybody's always like, oh, yeah, I think this is great, this and that. I've been victim of that. But you don't really know until you put them up against each other.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, oh, definitive. And I always use this analogy. I went to Kroger. There's a store in Michigan, probably other places. Grocery store. Kroger. You go there, and I was like, I want Munster cheese. She's like, which kind? Boar's Head or Private Selection? Well, Private Selection sounds fancy. Hey, let's try the Private Selection, And she was like, let me give you a slice of both. So I took a bite of the Private Selection. I'm like, yeah, that's really good. And I honestly would have ordered it. Then she handed me a slice of the Boar's Head, and I was like, oh, I'll take that. It's so much creamier and so much better. And she goes, everybody says that when I do
Boar's
this.
Head is so good.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, without that A-B comparison, I would have went home with Private Selection, which is good, but the Boar's Head, damn. It's so good. Carrie, you had more comments?
We're kind of caught up. They're
All
kind
right.
of going amongst themselves and
Okay.
commenting, and yeah.
All right. Well, I think that...
There's a lot of thank yous, and we did a good job, and
Oh.
great playing, and I
Thank you
I
guys.
agree with all of it. And so Jeffrey Blanco likes Boar's Head.
What's up, Jeffrey?
Don't
Yeah.
forget to tune in next Sunday, because we are going to do the community jam
Yeah, we
next
are.
Sunday, regular time. Probably don't have enough time. If you can throw together a solo in a week and want to get in on it,
Reach out to me.
email Jared and he'll
Yeah.
send you the backing track.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been a long day, and it's been a great day, but it's been a long one. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the support, the super chats, for sharing. It really does. I'm not kidding you how much it means to us when you do the super chats and the support, because I can't even put into words how much goes into these shows. So that's what continues this kind of thing, and we really appreciate that. And I want to thank Carrie, of course, for being here, and Steve, and also TJ for sharing their gift with us and showing up and spending the whole day here. They sacrificed their whole day to be here so that you guys can have some good information. And guys, thank you so much for
thanks for
playing.
having us.
Yeah, thank
Seriously,
you for having us on.
I didn't even want to play after hearing you guys. I was just like, oh, great, I'm going to go up there and play
No,
my
everybody,
crap.
when you were playing, people were saying that you sounded inspired and were like pushing and.
Well,
on
Yeah,
top
you had some of
your
those
game.
bends that you were...
Well, you guys pushed me, so I was like, well, hey. No, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I wish I could have done more today, but I was too busy behind the scenes dialing everything in and troubleshooting. So I'm so glad this went really well.
Right.
I mean, it was great, and we did it right. We profiled, we refined. I showed you guys behind the scenes. There's much more I could have shown you, but it would have taken forever,
Helix Cabana Boy, thank you for your super chat. He says Helix rules. There's
Helix
been a
is
couple
good.
of them
Helix is
throughout
awesome.
the
Yeah.
whole thing.
I'm still
Yeah.
using the HX and
Yeah.
the 4 cable method.
Guys, my Helix
That's my
is-
delay.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
Helix is right over there. I use it 4-cable method all the time.
My other
You
guitar
know?
player is using a Helix.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm dialing it in for him, but it's a fantastic unit. It
Yeah.
really is.
Use what works for you. If
Yep.
you sound great through it and you're confident and you're enjoying yourself, then who cares what we think? Seriously, you're the one that matters.
And the
What you
audience
think
isn't going to
matters.
care it either. Like
No.
at a show and everything.
Nobody's
Yeah.
going to know.
Nobody's going to know, hey,
Yeah.
that guy's
only
playing a
care about
Helix
the
and that
singer
guy's playing a
anyway.
real amp.
What's
They
that?
only care about the singer anyway.
She's not wrong.
You do have a point.
Makes or breaks.
Yeah, you do have a point. All right, well, guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here, and we appreciate everything that happened today. It was a good day. I mean, we got a lot done, and this was a definitive thing, I think. I think the Kemper, in my opinion, and your opinion, Steve and TJ and
Yeah.
Carrie's opinion, is still king of the hill as far as tone and feel goes. It just is. I mean, it was a blind test, and it was pretty definitive. So, yeah, let's see what Quad Cortex has to offer in the future with updates and different things. Maybe they'll change their algorithms. Maybe they'll add refining. Who knows?
They're going to update and be like, do it again.
Yeah, do it again. This is one and done, man. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. We very much appreciate it, and hopefully I'll be live this Wednesday with something. If not, Carrie and I will definitely be live on Sunday night, and we look forward to seeing you all then. And, well, again, like I always say, every day's a gift.
And thank you for spending yours with us.
God bless you guys. We will see you all next time. Have a great night, okay?
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you so much. All right, bye, guys.
He sent a super chat at the very tail
did he?
end.